So about 5, 6 years ago, I was working in the Isle of Wight, which was a massive pain in the cock. So I live in Nottingham, and the Isle of Wight is all the way down at the very other end of the world. It's basically on the base of the globe, and it's not much. It's not much fun. So I used to have to catch the train down to London, and then from there travel on to the Isle of Wight or to Dover, wherever, some bullshit place. So on my way back, I was sat on the train doing some work on my laptop, tap, and the young lady came onto the train and sat next to me. And I could look, from the look of her, she was a university student of some type. She had the type of, like a velvety type witch's dress and she had a necklace on which had a crystal on it. So I knew I was onto a winner immediately. So the issue that arose, I was sat doing, here we are. So I was sat working on the laptop, which had information about a load of people, all their sort of private information. And she was going and taking a look and reading all my stuff. And I was like, fucking hell, fire, Tried turning the laptop a little bit, and she just continued to read my stuff. And it was really nosy of her. And she had a book, and it was like a literature, not like I can't remember the book, but it was really old literature. So I thought, well, I can't do anything else. I'll just start writing a story. I'll write my own book, and she can have a read of what I'm writing. So I've just dug it out. I've found it. I've been looking for it for a while, and I've figured out that I messaged it to someone on Facebook. This was purely done to annoy this woman, who was some young lady who was sat next to me, nebbing at my stuff. So the story is called Claymore Mace, and it's about two policemen or knights set in this world that were quite tasty. So here we go. Here's the story time. It's quite long. If I stumble, it's because I deliberately put lots of spelling mistakes in and didn't go back to fix them. So here we go. The clock rang out through the early morning quiet, like an icicle through Dave's eyes. He had never before wanted to stay in bed so badly as this. Even that time him and Clifford had been out for 3 nights straight in Birmingham, crusading. That had ended well, but it had taken roughly 3 years off his life. It's still ringing, that fucking thing. The hangover was the second reason for the inability to reach over and press the off button. It was also the dread of what was to come when he got out of bed and inevitably made it to work. Dave was totally devoted to his job. What other jobs offered you the freedom for what he did? For a living? Nobody in the world wakes up and truly carpes the diem quite like Dave does. Just not today. Today was the day that he had to watch that bellend Roger get made. Fucking Roger. If there was one thing that Dave knew, it was that his job was about to get more bullshit than he could cope with. After all these years of being happy in his work, he knew that Roger the nonce was about to fuck it all up. The thing about Roger is, well, Roger's a prick. Yeah, you know the kind of person. He's the kind of person who takes the last tea bag out of the empty box and leaves it in the cupboard as a lovely little depression gift for the next person who comes along. He's the kind of person who would go on a night out with you, but the moment you went for a piss, he'd be there trying to finger your girlfriend. Dave doubted that Roger was capable of controlling his twattishness. This didn't help it, though. It just made the man even that much more of a shit. All day, every day at work would be now more mired in Roger's fucking stink. Like spooning up a portion of your favourite food, slowly lifting it towards your mouth. Oh, God, this is going to taste so good. And then at the last second, someone farting directly into your mouth and then vanishing round the corner laughing like a bastard. Maybe things wouldn't be that bad, though. Maybe Roger would die. Perhaps he would get injured badly and that he'd no longer be able to go out into the field. Possibly he would lose his bottle and just settle for a more calming job, or funny farm, or spelled O-R-E. Hopefully he would be skewered through the head and become a cabbage. Oh yes, that's the one. The snide cunt would have to get his brain scrambled and then spend the rest of his days shitting in his pants and watching kids' TV in a white clean room that smells pine fresh with that unmistakable undertone of sick. Well, better get up, FFS, sighed Dave in a tone often associated with cleaning the kitchen after a massive house party. Not that Dave would have to deal with the aftermath of one of those parties. Can you please make a little bit more noise? I'm not quite fucking awake enough yet, came the grumble from under the covers next to Dave. Who the fuck's that? Natasha? Piss off, Dave. You know you're about as funny as the plague, rumbled Gwen. Spastic. Are you getting up or what? With that, Dave hauled his massive frame out of bed. In the early morning sun, you could see the shining, stretched areas of his skin. Puckered areas that didn't seem quite right, almost like sections were missing and sewn back together by a blind man on a galloping horse. Well, at least they was all the only scars that he had to worry about. A few of the guys in his team had scars on their limbs, usually about halfway down. Big scars that marked where the limb either terminates or it turned into a wonky stump. Has my kit come back from the shop yet? Dave bellowed from down the corridor. Not that I'm aware of. Didn't you really mess it up last time? You spare sets in the cubbyhole if you want to wear that. I'll whip it over with a cloth for you. Yeah, that'd be fucking fantastic. While I'm at it, why don't I just turn up in some fucking 70s frilly fucking ruffs and cuffs? It's not that bad. It's just a bit cat's died. That's all. What's the big issue anyway? You're only going to the office today, so it should be fine. Fine? Yeah, it would be fucking fine if it wasn't Roger's induction day. Roger the prick. Who gets made on a fucking Wednesday anyway? Just like him to do something so twatty. Oh, Roger's being made up today. Oh, I like him. He's really nice. That's nice for him. Yeah, I'm sure you like Roger. He's a massive cunt. And I'm sure that given half the chance, he'd be in you like a rusty pike, the snide prick. Well, even if he wanted to, he couldn't. You're the only one for me, you know that. He's never even tried it on with me before. You need to be a bit nicer about him. He's a perfect gentleman. He certainly isn't. He's a sly son of a bitch. I know his fucking game. Anyway, I have to make do with this shit heap of a suit. Mega happy about this. I'll run the bastard through who runs that shop, making me look a twat. The end. Anyway, the young lady that was reading over my shoulder was really, really happy. The entire way through me typing this, happily typing away, she was fidgeting, tutting, going, making those noises all the way through. And that's why you don't be a nosy bitch and read other people's things.